This is now the third power, so you'll see NO7 Rage 3 on the jug. And here's what it's for. Essentially, if we can find a way to train harder and longer and recover better and faster, then we're going to be able to duplicate the workouts and just continue to build on top of building, rather than, in most cases, a workout is an inroad into your ability to recover. And if you keep breaking down and breaking down without building up, you're eventually going to put yourself into a condition of potential injury, and just over fatigue and possibly burnout, right? So one of the things that anabolic steroids do is they actually create a situation where you're anabolic all the time, which means that you're always building. So you do a workout and then you recover and you keep building on top of building. For most people, for most of us who are natural, what you're going to get is you're going to get a breakdown of muscle tissue while you're working out, a slight decrease, and then a rebuild, hopefully slightly above and beyond that normal level. And then you're going to work out again, you're going to break down again, you're going to build. So it's almost like 1.5 steps, I'll say half step back, 1 step forward, hopefully, right? That's what you want to create. And then we can enhance that scenario with some of the products that contain these ingredients. So with NO7 Rage 3, you're going to intensify your training sessions. You're going to improve strength, size, and performance, and improve reaction time, strength, endurance, and power, mental focus, and training motivation. If you want to get fired up for your workout, this is a great way to do it. Your muscle gain and then your strength. Okay, and here's how it happens. So NO7 Rage contains a proprietary blend of compounds that work together to increase blood flow, cell volume, and mental focus. Greater blood flow to skeletal muscle will increase the delivery of oxygen, energy, and rebuilding nutrients, and also speeds up the removal of byproducts like lactic acid. All of this leads to higher quality training, potentially strength improvements, less muscle breakdown, and increased muscle size. And results can be enhanced when you take it with the amino formula, formerly known as amino XXXL. So if we want to train harder and longer, recover better and faster, these are the ingredients. And what I oftentimes tell people, actually not often, all the time, if you have a product that you think does this, cross-reference it with the amounts that are in this one, and you will know if you have a formula that is actually worth using. Because these are always, with the practitioner grade, going to be put at a level that the research was confirmed the results of what was supposed to happen, and that confirms that. So the amounts are going to be in the amount that shows that, because it's based on science and research. What happens, you don't want to get too deep into this, but what happens for most companies is they take these ingredients, they realize that there's some scientific backing to them, and then they put them in the jug, but at much less amounts, not only to save costs, but to basically just pull the wool over the eyes of people who are unsuspecting and would not believe anybody would ever do something like that. But it happens all the time. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're getting the ingredients that you know are going to work, and the right dosage to make sure that they do, and then also a clean label, which means that if it's NSF certified and NSF certified for sport, it means that whatever is on the jug is actually in the bottle and nothing else. So no contaminants, but the right dosage. Many companies, if they don't have that standard of excellence, what they're going to do is they can lie about what's on the label. And sometimes you don't know what you're getting inside the jug. Happens all the time as well. So mass marketed retail supplements are notorious for that, because they're just looking to get a profit. They're not looking necessarily to create a following of people who are seeing great results, who really, like for me, my whole thing is to help people get to their goals and to their results, not to just sell them a product. Because the product of what I do is actually the coaching to helping people accomplish their goals. This is just an aid to make sure that that happens. All right, so it contains L-citrulline, okay, or L-citrulline malate, which has been shown to be more effective substrate than arginine by itself. So a lot of products will just put in the arginine, but there's a whole product byproduct type of response that's going to happen by using the L-citrulline malate, which is actually going to be more superior. So even though what some people will argue is that, well, hey, this doesn't have the arginine, it doesn't need the arginine from that format in order to make the nitric oxide, which is what the whole goal and purpose is. It contains 2 novel forms of arginine. They're really hard to say, so I'm not going to say it, because anytime I say it on a slide, I screw it up. But both significantly increase plasma arginine to the desired levels shown for the nitric oxide production. Okay, it contains a unique blend of tyrene, glycerol, and pine bark. If you've watched, which is going to actually help with muscle pump and hydration inside the cells. If you saw the video on the potential clumping that can happen inside your jug if you get any moisture into your jug, this is the glycerol in there, which is a really hydroponic solution that will actually absorb, but it's here for that exact purpose. You want that absorption. It can be used alone or with the amino formula, creatine monohydrate, and extreme creatine if you want to get the mass high level dosing of all of those ingredients that are in there. Okay, so that's the NO7. So now what's the next supplement that contains the caffeine that we're talking about? And that's going to be the Workout Extreme. This is used for a number of different things. We're going to go over who and what the typical use is, but adults, exercisers, athletes not bothered by stimulants, seeking to prolong activity and reduce fatigue, short to long event duration, endurance activities such as running, cycling. What you want to do is take 5 capsules 40 to 60 minutes before activity, totaling 350 milligrams of caffeine. Okay, unless you have an issue with caffeine, in which case you wouldn't even want to use this product at all. But you can start with 2 and then adjust as you feel necessary. Okay, the numbers on this is 1.4 to 3 milligrams per pound of body weight, and you really don't want to go over 600 milligrams. Okay, so if you're doing this for athletic events, you do this 40 to 60 minutes before activity. And if competing for the first time using this, you might want to try it out a couple of times before you do that, just to make sure that you know what the expectations are and that you don't have any surprises either from whatever the surprises could be. Okay, just whether it's, I don't know, could be something that messes with your tummy or something like that. You just want to make sure that it's going to be doing what it needs to be doing. So you don't just go into it blindly. Test it out in some of your training practices. All right. So once again, intermittent athletes such as football, baseball, soccer, hockey, rugby, swimming, I would say high intensity interval trainers, CrossFitters, all those type of people, 40 to 60 minutes before activity, and unless caffeine sensitive, in which case you would just start with 2 and then adjust if necessary. Okay, any adult not bothered by stimulants, obviously, as a pre-workout or event energy enhancement supplement, which basically means that you just need to pick me up. You would take it as directed. If using it regularly, it is recommended to cycle the use about 3 weeks on and at least 1 week off, or use only as needed for activities. Okay, so this doesn't need to be something that you take every single day. You could take it before a workout occasionally. You could take it before, if you run more on the weekends, you might take it for a long run. If you just happen to be more exhausted one day over another one, you could take it then. But there's, I mean, this any way that you would want to do it, you can do it that way. It should not be taken within 4 hours of other products containing stimulants. So if you are taking the NO7 that we just talked about, then you probably do not want to take this in addition to or within 4 hours of, because there's going to be caffeine interaction from both of those products. So also, unless you're crazy, which many of us are, you'd want to be careful of when you time your coffee and any other energy drinks or any other stimulants. Okay. Hey, you do you. You do you. Okay, so what happens? We increase the mental and physical performance while reducing the exhaustion. Okay, this is, I mean, everybody's familiar with caffeine and what it can do. People are coffee drinkers, they're green tea drinkers. You know what it does. Adult exercisers looking for a powerful pre-workout formula to boost alertness, energy levels, and metabolism and delay fatigue. You can use this workout extreme instead of NO7 Rage or coffee or an energy drink. And it's going to be a lot more stable because the ingredients are actually going to be correctly formulated per the capsule, so that you're not just guessing. With coffee, every single coffee could be different. Every single wherever you go, the type of blend, all the things can be different. The size of the coffee. Okay, so how does caffeine supplementation affect physical performance? Well, you have your muscle strength, endurance, and power. In any team sports, you have the endurance and the performance enhancement from that for longevity in your running, I should say, for distance running, for cycling, for endurance events. You reduce the perceived exertion. So your muscle pain threshold is going to be different. So you're not going to feel like you're in as much pain or exhaustion, and you're going to allow your body to basically do its job. And then, of course, cognitive performance. You're going to have more mental focus, and the nervous system response. All right, so combining this pure form of caffeine anhydrous with a gluco word, it's really hard to say, try saying it, and clinically favorable dose of taurine may enhance the well-known performance enhancements effects of caffeine alone. Okay, some really great research on that. So you can see how the taurine itself with that is going to actually allow the body to respond better longer to the caffeine without having to use really even higher amounts. Therefore, used in individually designed dosages, this gives the user the potential to improve training sessions and competition outcomes when compared to no supplementation or commercially available like products for the purpose of similar outcomes. Dosing. Caffeine's effect on cognitive performance, alertness, vigilance, memory are generally experienced at really lower levels. So dosages like 0.25 to 2 milligrams per pound of body weight. If you have more extravagant goals, dosages that induce improvements in exercise, performance range from 1.4 to 3 milligrams per pound of body weight, not to exceed 600, and taken approximately 1 hour before pre-activity. The goal is to deliver an NSF certified for sport product with a combination of ingredients that demonstrate the ability to increase time to exhaustion or delay fatigue, especially in continuous intermittent intensity, such as HIIT training and sports, and endurance sports in general, while also delivering a positive cognitive benefit such as improving training desire, reaction time, and mental focus. While this product is designed to specifically increase time to exhaustion or prolong performance during these events, for a short to long event duration, endurance and intermittent athletes, Workout Extreme can be used by anyone not bothered by a stimulant, or as a pre-workout or even energy enhancement supplement. Okay. So let's get into the nitty-gritty for the dosing and some of the research behind it. Using 1.4 to 3 milligrams per pound of caffeine in an anhydrous state, 30 to 60 minutes before activity, there's a universal agreement that the caffeine supplementation can enhance different modes of exercise performance, including endurance, high-intensity team sport activity of long duration, such as rugby, hockey, soccer, strength, muscle power, and muscle endurance, primary anaerobic, so your CrossFits, your HIITs, your Orange Theories, your F45s, your G3 Fitness, your Elements Health Club Academy classes. So some of the researchers found that you can use coffee. It is as effective as the caffeine anhydrous. The only difference with that is it's hard to regulate how many milligrams of caffeine you're getting in different cups of coffee and different blends. Okay, so for all of you golfers out there, in a lower dose application used among golfers, okay, which is going to be what, 1 milligram per pound of caffeine, improved measures of performance and delayed fatigue in skilled golfers. So if you need to delay your fatigue while you're walking those greens, here you go. All right, tons of research on this. If you need more information, just reach out to me. I'll be happy to send you the full documents and all of the supporting research behind it. So here's an example on the low end, 1.4 times 170-pound individual is going to be 238 milligrams. On the high end, it's going to be three, same weight individual, it's going to be 510. So you're looking at 238 to 510 milligrams. And each capsule here has 70, so you can do the math. 238 divided by 70 is going to be 3.5 capsules. You can decide 3 or 4. And then for that higher amount, 510 divided by 70 is going to be 7.3. So about 7 capsules. All right. So for exercise performance, caffeine in the anhydrous form is preferred based on the ability to accurately assess and control the dosing, which you can't always do with other drinks like coffee or tea. The Workout Extreme supplementation within recommended dosage is considered safe for healthy individuals, and competitors should experiment with dosing described here during practice sessions to personalize their most effective protocol and abstain from all caffeine, including Workout Extreme, 2 to 4 days before competition. Because what you want is you want everything to kind of down regulate so that you get the maximum benefit when you need it. So summary at the very minimum. Workout Extreme contains clinically proven performance-enhancing doses and the form of caffeine shown to improve training and competition results in a wide variety of anaerobic and aerobic endurance activities and team sports compared to any non-supplemented state. The addition of taurine in a clinically favorable dose, along with the G word, I'm not going to say it. I'm waiting on that, but I'm not. May enhance caffeine's well-known ergogenic benefits, which are ratings of perceived exertion, delayed fatigue effects, and cognitive benefits, and possibly allow greater results at lower dosages. So there you go. Two products that are going to give you some great caffeine stimulation purposely for that very reason of enhancing your workouts, delaying fatigue, and just giving you better mental focus and clarity. So take a look at those, see which ones apply closer to your goals, and go get it.